Hey Raindrops, now before we get into this video, I want to talk to you about joining my community. Yes, my YouTube community of subscribers. So make sure you like and subscribe to this channel. It helps build the channel and build our community. I love it when you guys comment and post. So remember, make sure to like and subscribe to this channel.
All right, Trisha, how are you today?
Good. How about yourself?
I'm doing good. No, I'm not doing as well as you because I heard you are out in a Caribbean beautiful location right now. Is that true?
I am. I
Okay.
am.
Okay. Well, look, I know that air feels good wrapped around your shoulders right now. So the perfect setting for us to have a good, comfortable conversation. First of all, welcome to Love and Marriage Huntsville, Trisha. How are you enjoying being part of the cast this season? Oh, you laughed about it already, huh?
Um, it's interesting, very interesting. Um, well, I'm liking it so far. I'm liking it so far.
Okay, well that's good. I one of the things that makes Love and Marriage, all the Love and Marriage franchises so great is just the layered cast, right? The different personalities in the mix and this many seasons deep into Love and Marriage Huntsville, it's refreshing to have new faces and a new story as a part of the cast. So first of all, thank you for joining. You know, the fans are happy to have you and happy to have a new story to kind of get to know and new personalities to get to know. Talk to me a little bit about how you are connected to the cast. How did you get introduced to the cast and invited to be a part of Love and Marriage Huntsville?
I think, let me, I remember here. Well, from my understanding, I thought it was supposed to be like a, little short appearance thing with Stormy, because
Okay.
that's my baby. Um, then I'm not sure how I got here. So it
Okay.
was like a little short, scene, I thought, with Stormy,
Hmm.
and that was gonna be it.
Well, shout out to Stormy. We know she just broke that record on TikTok. She was the first person
She
to,
did.
yeah,
Yes.
she made a
Yes.
million bucks in one stream. So shout big Stormy. That's what we're gonna call her.
Big,
Okay.
big Stormy.
That's
Yes,
big
big
Stormy.
storm.
So Stormy was is your friend, and that was kind of the catalyst into you being a part of the show. How long have you been friends with Stormy, Trisha?
Oh wow. Whew. Some time. 10
Okay.
years, 11 years.
Okay,
Yeah.
yeah. So you guys are deeply rooted in your friendship. And again, that's refreshing as well. We love seeing real bonds, real connections, real friendships, and that sort of loyalty amongst the cast. We love to see that. Talk to me a little bit about your background, Trisha. Are you originally from Huntsville?
I'm originally from Huntsville. Yes.
Okay, so
Um,
you live in
born and
Huntsville.
raised. Hmm.
Okay, okay, awesome. And we know that you are a health and fitness professional. You're a personal trainer in Huntsville, and we can see you have very quickly become the body of Love and Marriage Huntsville in all the right ways. So we love
Yes.
to see that. Talk to me about your dedication to fitness. Where did your love for physical fitness come from?
Well, my mom and dad passed.
Hmm.
Health issues, of course. And they both passed at 55. They were married for 38 years
Hmm.
um, when they both passed, actually. And I just had this thing that, I want to be alive at 55. So
Hmm.
it just took off from there. And I think what really gave me time because to get into fitness, because I'm also an engineer. I've been an engineer for 18 years.
Okay.
This
What
past
kind of
year,
engineering do you do, Trisha?
I do computer right now. I'm a principal engineer, network
Okay.
engineer. So, um, and when the pandemic hit, I was like, okay, here's where I can branch off and because we were working from home and
Yeah.
start really getting into my fitness life. So that's how that went and
Yeah.
diving into fitness heavy.
Yeah. Well, first of all, sending much love to you and your family as you process. We know grief is a never-ending process. You just learn how to kind of live with it and place it where it's best served. So much love and good energy to you as you endure that process. And it sounds like you found a an outlet in physical fitness as well. is
I
a
did.
way to kind of cope with your grief.
And keep me from
Yeah.
being angry at the world.
Yeah, yeah, and that's understandable. And that's also really inspirational for the viewers because we know people deal with that, and seeing how you have taken, physical fitness and use that as a tool to cope with grief, and also ensure your own health. I think that's really inspirational. And those are the stories that are really impactful when you share them on a platform like Love and Marriage Huntsville. So shout out to you for being transparent and vulnerable with that information. Now we have a few other questions because we do know that
Sure.
there's a lot going on in your personal life, and I think it is fascinating. And I also think it speaks to, we live in a day and age where people, men, and in this case, women, can kind of make their own decisions and do things on their own terms. And I think that your story really speaks to that for our viewers. Talk to me about your marriage. Um, on the show, we were introduced to you, and you shared with us that you were currently married at the time of filming, and that you and your husband were estranged for many years, and you were now in a full relationship with your partner Ken, who's also really into fitness, and you guys are a stunningly attractive couple. But let's dial back a little bit and talk about the married Trisha. Um, are you currently still married today, Trisha?
Yes. Legally,
Okay.
yes.
Okay, legally married, right. So how long have you and your husband been married at this point
Um,
on paper? Because we know you're
on
out of
paper,
relationship with him. Yeah.
on paper, 18 years.
Okay. Okay. It's been 18 years. And so have you had, and also, how does your husband, your legally, the person you're in a legal marriage with, not your relationship that you're in with Ken, but how does your legal husband feel about you discussing y'all's relationship on television? Because we know Black people, we're notoriously private, and that is a very
And I'm
personal
definitely,
thing to share. Yeah. So how does
this
he
has
feel
been a,
about you speaking on it on TV?
he didn't like it. He didn't like
Okay.
it. Well, I, for one, am private, very private.
Hmm.
So this also took me some time. Like, wait, I gotta say what now?
Yeah, yeah.
This definitely took some time for me as well. But yeah, of course he hated it. Oh my gosh, he hated it.
Yeah. And so was there, did you have to like hit him up before the show aired and say, listen, there's going to be some conversations had on camera. Like, what was that moment or that process like for you? How did you handle that?
I didn't.
You
I
just let
just,
it, you just let the shit come on
I just
TV.
yeah,
Yeah.
I did. I didn't. I did not. I just let it roll.
Okay. Okay. And how did he react? You said that he reach out to you and say, hey, what are you doing? Or what was that conversation like?
He did. He was like, I'm gonna have to get my lawyers involved. I'm gonna have
Oh,
to do
okay.
this and this. And I was like, oh gosh. All right, sure.
So that's interesting, Trisha, because if your ex is so willing to get lawyers involved to stop maybe some conversations happening, why hasn't that same approach been taken to kind of dissolving the actual union on paper? You know what I mean? Why has there been a lack of, I guess,
Push forward.
push?
I guess.
Yeah.
Well, I can say, as awkward as it sounds, I don't know why myself. We never had a communication. Like after we separated, it was like he went his way, I went mine, and we were just friends. I don't know how to explain that situation. It was very weird. We just didn't communicate. Like we were never married before. Like we were never in a union for 13 years prior. It was just like, okay,
Yeah.
well, you enjoy your life,
And
you
you all
know.
don't have, there's no children involved, correct? You all don't have
We
any
have
children. Oh, you have two children together.
two.
Okay. That actually adds a little bit more context in because I think the fans will be able to understand why you've had to remain in communication and kind of
Mm-hmm.
continue a tie there because you're parenting two children together. And so that
Well,
that
we
makes
did,
sense. I'm sorry.
even though we had two kids together, we did not communicate. which
Okay.
was awkward. That's why I said it's very weird. People say that, when someone they've done something wrong, they try to hide or don't want to communicate or don't want to. So, but I've always told him, hey, I'm here if you need anything, because I've always been, you know, let's say more so the provider in things. But I did always tell him, hey, if you need anything, just let me know. But we just never communicated, even with kids. But the kids have cell phones, so I don't see why there's a reason, unless it was like an emergency or something happened and I have to reach out and like, hey, such and such had to go to the hospital. This happened. This happened.
Yeah.
But he can communicate with them, so that's also, I think, a
Okay.
big
So
reason.
so what is your do you have any hesitation to kind of pulling the trigger on the divorce proceedings yourself?
I
Are you
don't. I
are you
don't.
waiting on him to what's the status of that process currently?
Well, we were supposed to sign papers, but it was supposed to be
Mhm.
done in front of a notary. He stays in Atlanta, so, and it's kind of like a lack of transportation. So, but I was just like, I'm just gonna go and file it now, especially being with Ken, because things were a lot different in the beginning with Ken and I. Like he was just against marriage altogether, and I'm
Mhm.
not sure why, but um, I think what really pushed the issue, like, okay, we haven't spoken about this in a long time, but now it's time to bring up the conversation. And then after years of not communicating and bringing that up, it was like, I'm not sure where this conversation is going to go, because we left off on a not so good note. But I
Okay.
thought, with the communication in between, things would be great. But it's turned into a long list of things that went wrong. I'm like, well, it's kind of too late to bring all that up. Now
Yeah.
sign the papers and move forward. So,
Yeah. So do you think that your ex-husband is trying to hold on to the marriage with hopes of reconciliation of some sort, or is he clear that you have moved on?
um, from my understanding, that's what it was in the beginning. But he never
Okay.
communicated that with me. We never communicated at all. So it was
Yeah.
like, no. And then he was out doing his own thing, and I would see him out doing his own thing. There was no issue. I was cool. I was still, whenever things did come about, he needed anything, I was there, no problem. But and I was fine. I supported all of his many relationships, whatever he was in. It was like we were like best friends, but not communicating. We were like, we have a best friend and y'all don't communicate for a long time, but when you for a long time, but when you guys do talk, it's like things are okay in a
Yeah.
sense. But yeah.
Okay. So right now you're basically just waiting on your ex to sign a paper then and you can move forward with the divorce proceedings, or how are you going to where
No,
is that
I'm just
again?
gonna do it myself.
Okay.
I'm just
So
gonna
you
go
don't
ahead and
need anything from him
I
in
do
order
not.
to
I don't need.
Okay.
No, we don't need. I don't need anything. We don't need anything from each other, actually.
Okay.
So yeah, so I'm just gonna
Okay.
go ahead and get it done
No,
because
your motivation to get it done now, right at this point, to go ahead and say, you know what, forget it. Like, let me go ahead and move this thing forward. Is that because of the beautiful relationship that you now have with Ken? Is that motivating your decision to dissolve the marriage officially?
yes, absolutely, it definitely is.
Okay.
Because in the beginning, when Ken and I first started dating, when it started to get serious, we started. He didn't know I wasn't fully divorced either.
Okay.
But he had communicated before he even known anything about my other situation that he wasn't really into being married or whatever. He's
Mhm.
never, because he's just not a fan of marriage or whatever. But then one day he was just like, I can't see myself without you. And
Mm.
I know I never wanted to be married. I never, but now I want to get married and I want to marry you. So
Yeah.
I was like, okay, yeah. Like I'm a little cuckoo, but okay.
But it's a beautiful thing. And seeing the two of you together on camera, there's obvious chemistry. You can tell it's a real connection, a real relationship. And again, physically, the two of you just make sense. It just you look good together. Y'all do. And so, already I think that, and you can see in some of the comments, the fans are kind of rooting for you guys and they want us to see you guys make it to, matrimony or whatever that the future looks like for the two of you. You expressed on the show that you were a little apprehensive about kind of moving forward into another marriage. Talk to us a little bit about why, and is that affected or impacted by your experience that you're currently
It was
having?
definitely, oh gosh, yes.
Yeah.
My past experience with marriage was just not the best at all. It wasn't all bad, but there were more bad times than there were good times.
Hmm.
So I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I was just, but I guess after we've been together, it was just like, I think I can do it again. I think I
Yeah.
can.
Yeah.
In the beginning, I was like, dude, I am okay with you not wanting to be married because
Yeah.
neither do I. Like for one, I'm already married. I do not feel like going through all the emotions all over again. But I think, yeah, now it's different. Now it's
Yeah.
different.
I appreciate connections like that personally. I see people often say, oh, I'm looking for a partner, I'm looking for a husband, I'm looking for a wife. And I've never quite understood that because it seems like you're looking for someone just that meets certain criteria to kind of fill that space.
Mhm.
And I've always thought it to be and understood it to be a more specific connection. And it sounds like that's what's going on with you and Ken. Neither one of you were necessarily into the concept of marriage or the idea of doing, you didn't need that
Mhm.
in order to legitimize your connection. But because it's you, because it's him, and because of the love that you all have for each other, you want that official connection with each other, and it's specific. And
Yes.
I think that's kind of what I understand it to be as well. So listen, I get it, Trisha. Okay, I totally get it. I totally get it. So Love and Marriage Huntsville, we see the connection that you have with Stormy. But we also saw in a scene with Stormy, we also saw another seeming connection and something that I want to give you the opportunity to offer some context to, right? We saw you in scene with Martell Hope. And we know Martell to be a day one cast member of Love and Marriage Huntsville. And he absolutely has his own story to tell. But it seemed to viewers, Trisha, like there was a obvious connection between the two of you. And even in your confessional scene, you said it pissed you off, that which I thought was hilarious and real because it would have pissed me off too, that Martell had walked into the scene and acted like he did not know you. So Trisha, for just you have the floor. How do you know Martell Holt?
Okay, so um, training. I started training. Martell used to, hit me up and was like, okay, yeah, I need to train with you. I need to train with you. So it was like, okay. I'm like, okay, we can train. I mean, I think it pissed me off because it was nothing happened. It wasn't like I don't know why he acted like he didn't know me. That's why it was so crazy. And I'm like, okay, well, I grew up with, you know, you guys too. So it's like, that's just weird. But I did. I went to his house, for training once and it
Mhm.
was discussed training and all that. But I was like, dude, I think, I don't know why. It's just so weird. I was like, I don't know why, because nothing happened. It was not that serious. So the way he approached that was like trying to hide something. And I was like,
Mhm.
dude, what you mean introducing me? Hi, my name Martell. Man, you don't get the hell out of the way. But it was like, okay, am I missing something here? But
Yeah.
I don't know. That pissed me. Yeah, that pissed me off. I was mad as hell. So I was like, okay, did I forget something? Am I missing something? I don't know.
Yeah. I think, because we're grown, we live life, right? And we've been in situations where we've run into people, right, that we may have seen or known from whatever kind of connection we have. And it is a little off-putting when people don't receive you in a way that reflects the history that you have with each other. And in this
Mhm.
case, just based on appearances alone, I think a lot of the fans, a lot of the people watching assume that there was some sort of connection of a romantic nature or intimate nature between
Exactly.
you and
Because
Martell.
that's the way I
Yeah.
would have taken it too. When it wasn't it, I would have taken it the same way.
Okay. Um, and we also saw the scene where you did decide to like train Martell, right? And it was a very funny, fun, upbeat scene between the two of you all. But during that scene, Martell, well, Chris Fletcher came up, right? Talk to us about
Mhm.
you and Chris are related on your mom's side, you said.
Correct.
Okay,
Hmm.
have you guys been in like, do you guys see each other at like family functions, or are you just related and you're aware that that's somebody that you're related to?
Yes, we're related, and I'm aware. I don't go to the family functions. I'm pretty sure he probably does. I don't.
Okay. And so you've known this for years. You all have been related for years, for a long time.
Hmm.
And so during that scene, Martell said that Chris had actually mentioned you in conversation to him before, and you were trying to kind of get to the bottom, like, well, what are you talking about? And Martell made it seemed to the viewers and the people listening to the conversation that he was suggesting that maybe Chris had kind of said, hey, Martell, this is Trisha. Is this someone you're interested in, or try to form a connection there? What did you think about the conversation that Martell was alluding to, and have you since gotten clarity on exactly what they talked about
I have
regarding you?
not gotten clarity on that, and that
Okay.
scene, yes, that scene was like, okay, I want to know what the hell's going on now. No, don't
Yeah.
speak it up. I want to know. Tell me. I want to know what was said. What I hated that. I'm like,
Yeah.
no, tell me now because I want to know. Now you got to tell me. But no, I he didn't tell me, and no, I haven't gotten any clarity on it.
Okay. Okay.
On what all that was
Um,
about and why my name. Because I don't talk to Chris like that. Of course, he's the older generation with my mom and them, and my aunts. But it
yeah.
was like, okay, so I was the topic of you guys' conversation. Now I want to know why and what was said, and again, why.
Yeah. Um, how did so what has the conversation been like surrounding like the whole Martell scene that we saw, and the kind of the energy, you know what I mean, surrounding you and Martell in the show? What has that conversation, has that even been a conversation between you and Ken? And if so, what has that been like?
There was a conversation in the beginning because I understand Ken because he should have known that I went to Martell's house, but I think it was the way that it came out that he did not like. And I was like, shit, I didn't like it either because I'm trying to figure out what was the purpose of it and where is this going to go. Um, because it was again, nothing happened and it was not
Mhm.
serious for it to come out as if there was something behind it. No, nope, nope, and hell nope, not me. But
Yeah.
he was very upset that he found out that way, even though nothing didn't happen. It was just I think it was more like I should have told him in the beginning. But again, after the scene, um, with Stormy, I said I asked him outside. We walked out. I was like, dude, why did you say that? He was like, oh well, I don't really I can't you look different. And then so after the gym scene, he was like, well, I didn't know if you wanted me to say that or not. I was like, dude, it wasn't that serious. You could have said something. I don't care. I said, because now it looks weird. I was like, what was the purpose of that? I was like, yeah, no, it wasn't that. It was nothing serious to hide and then come out. I told him that. I said, you could have said something. You could speak up. It's all right. It's okay. Like, I don't know. I don't know because he had this image that he didn't want me to be associated with him or he didn't want to be I don't know. I was like, no, I'm fine. I can take up for myself, speak up because it wasn't nothing serious. So
Yeah, it sounds like you guys, so just to add clarity, right? It sounds to me like what you're saying is that Martell, hit you up on maybe like some flirtatious, the way people do. You
yeah,
responded in kind, and you all met up, you know what I mean? To just talk and
we
kind of
did.
feel the vibe out. and nothing
Yeah,
made nothing happen. It was just a meeting amongst two adults who
it
maybe
was
have
so
expressed
crazy
a
because
yeah,
despite what everybody says about Martell, he was the total opposite. He didn't try to do nothing. He didn't try to do anything. He wasn't trying. He didn't try to do anything. Like nothing at all. Like nothing. Despite his image, I know what they saying about him, but he was the total opposite.
yeah. And when was that, Trisha? When did that take place? When did you and Martell first meet?
That would be 2020,
Okay,
20,
about
yeah,
4 years ago.
like in 2019, 2020, somewhere around the pandemic. Yeah.
Okay. Okay, cool. And so you guys just hung out one time, and then after that you knew each other. So, maybe you would see him around Huntsville or
Mm-hmm.
okay.
Yep. Sitting around Huntsville, he had invited me to his magazine
Mm-hmm.
thing. Yep. And that was it. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And so
So,
that makes sense why you may have been kind of taken aback when he walked into the room and introduced himself to you after you
oh
like
gosh,
we didn't
I was
chill.
fuming.
Like
Yeah.
we know each other, and it's
Yeah.
innocent. It sounds
I
like to me.
was. I was like, what the hell? I was like, okay. Yeah.
Just I wanted to give you the opportunity to kind of just illuminate that for people because I think there was a lot of assumptions being made on
Yeah.
behalf of the
But he did say
viewers.
that. He did say that. And I was like, dude, I'm not care. Let them assume what they want to assume. Because I
Yeah,
know what the hell happened. I mean,
yeah,
everybody got an opinion. So
yeah. Well,
let
that's
them go
true.
for it.
I think speaking of opinions, right? We also saw a bit of a spirited conversation between Nell Fletcher and Letitia Scott, who we know that you train with, or who you trained on the episode. And in that conversation, it came up, and even in the episode, I think it came up that Letitia had kind of given you not a warning, but kind of a heads up to kind of look out for certain characteristics from Neil Fletcher, right? Saying like, hey, she might get in your face or whatever. Tell us what that conversation was about and where do you think that energy came from with that warning? Do you feel like you needed a warning or a heads up about, engaging with Neil Fletcher? What was that moment like with you and Letitia?
Um, well, no, I did not need a warning. I don't need a warning
Okay.
from anyone. I kept telling her that.
Yeah.
I told her that, like, no, I'm not the one, or the two, or
Yeah.
the three. I do respect, my elders, but yeah, respect goes both ways. It goes
Yeah.
both ways. No, there would not be any invading my personal space because, yeah,
Yes.
no,
Yeah.
not at all. But I don't. Nell is she's very rowdy. She is, but I think she's like more on the auntie vibe that you want to turn up with.
Okay.
She's
Okay.
not so much as in she does a lot. Well, she talk a lot. She does a lot. She talk a lot. Goodness,
Okay.
but um, it's not so much as I haven't seen that part of her yet. I'm gonna say
hmm
that I have not seen that part that Tisha described yet. I have seen the loud version of her because she's always loud. She just remind me
Okay.
of the auntie I want to go out and hang out with.
Okay. What what did you think uh what did you think about the situation between Stormy and Letitia, right? We
Hmm.
know that things kind of last year on the reunion episode, things kind of ended a bit rocky between the two of them. And it was some insults going across, from one to the other and the other to the other. What did you think about that? And what do you think? Do you see a window of hope for resolve between the two of them in the future? What are your thoughts on their relationship currently?
Currently, I think it's okay. At
Okay,
that
good.
moment, I think they need to get some things out. I think they
Yeah,
need to get some things out since that reunion because obviously it was still bothering Stormy,
yeah,
and I think it was needed. I think it needed to be said. I
yeah.
did because now it's not, of course, they're not like the best of friends, but
hmm
it's better. It's a lot better than that scene.
Okay, good. And we love to hear that. We yes, people tune in to see certain drama and certain conflict, but ultimately we were introduced to, we know we like to see people be friends. We like to see these black entrepreneurs thriving in Huntsville and existing peacefully with each other. You know, things will happen, but we want to see the resolve. So it's great to hear that Stormy and Letitia kind of found their way to a more positive space. Are we going to see more of that progression on screen as the season progresses, or did this kind of take place off camera?
Um, no, they're not 100%. Let me say that.
Okay, 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 okay,
So even no, they're not 100%. I'm just gonna say that
okay,
it's like a hit and miss. One minute they're okay, the next minute they're throwing shade.
okay,
But yeah, it can be fixed. This is gonna take some time.
okay. Um, I again, you're a part of this cast now, and I think that your opinion, right, matters. People want to know what you have to say because you have appeared to be very level-headed, very much in control of your own being and your own kind of existence on the show. So now we want to know what you think about stuff, right? And one of the main stories that is kind of pushing rather the season along is the relationship between Sunny and Moses, right? And we know that we know that Sunny was formerly a producer on Love and Marriage Huntsville, and she has now um, become kind of intertwined in the story that's going on because of her transition into a marriage with Moses. So as a new cast member on Love and Marriage Huntsville, right? And you have experience now working with the producers of the show and kind of creating that sort of relationship. What do you think about the way that that went down, the way that Sonny and Moses were able to find love with each other? What are your thoughts about that as a person who is now on cast and experiencing the kind of producer to cast dynamic yourself? What do you think?
Um, for I don't know. I guess for Sunny to say that her and Destiny were not that close. Me
Mm-hmm.
being on the show, I talk to my producer all the freaking time.
Mm-hmm.
Ma'am, y'all were close enough. Y'all were
Mm.
close enough. Um, I don't know. I think that's the ultimate disrespect to women and to yourself, to herself. It's just, I don't know. I think it's disgusting for one.
Okay.
Like, it's like, how do you kiss this guy, hug this guy without seeing Destiny's face? It's just, it's nasty. It's disgusting to me.
Yeah. Yeah. People have really strong opinions about that. And it makes sense because just like you said, you're in constant communication with your producer. And it seems like the things that you'd be talking about are personal because you're speaking about your
Yes.
life, right? And so is that where
Mm-hmm.
you think kind of the element of betrayal exists in that story? Do you think that she
Yes. And I understand. She was like, I'm just gonna be completely honest with you. She was like Moses approached her. I was Sunny. I would say, dude, you don't get the fuck out of my face. I would have been
yeah,
dialing Destiny's number quick. I'm like, what just yeah.
yeah,
Mm-mm.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's
see, no,
interesting.
it
Are
is.
you and Sunny cool, or what's your relationship like with Sunny and your relationship
We
with
don't have one.
Destiny? Okay.
Me and Destiny are close. I train her as well. We're really close.
Okay.
Sunny,
Okay.
we don't have a relationship. I don't even want a relationship. I do not want a relationship with Sunny.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And you
Because I'm
feel
gonna
like
be the
that.
biggest asshole.
Okay, yeah. And listen, hey, it's better to express those sort of boundaries up front so that there's no confusion, right? Like sometimes you just personalities don't gel and you feel like based on what you know, kind of some of Sunny's decision making to be and her choices to be, that
Mm,
doesn't necessarily look like the type of friend that you would want to have.
not at all. Not at
Okay.
all. Mm-mm.
Well, listen, Trisha, it's been great speaking with you about the show this season thus far. I really enjoy what you're bringing to the cast, so I'm looking forward to a season of
Yeah.
more Trisha, more Ken, more fitness, more iron pumping, all of that. You know what I mean? We love to see that, and I also think this is a great opportunity for you to present your fitness business to the world. You know, you're your own walking business card, and I think that platforming it on this show is great. So I wish you much success in that arena, and making that pivot because we know you got the engineering thing on lock. So hey, let's keep going with this
Yeah.
fitness thing, right? Thank you so much
Yeah.
for your time today, Trisha, and I hope we get to speak again before the season's up.
Me too. Me too.
All right, enjoy
Thank
your
you.
vacation.
Yes, I'm about to.
All right, take care, Trisha.
You too.
All right.